Hey guys, I'm sure I look lovely today. Just been in the shower. I'm doing a review for the beauty products and I've got stuff in my hair, so I decided that while I'm waiting on this stuff in my hair I would have a wee chat with you. Um, the thing that I want to chat with you about today, as you can probably see from the title of the video, is about working when you have fibromyalgia. I know this is a question that a lot of people get from others, why don't you work anymore? Or will you ever go back to work? Or why did you stop working? Or how come you don't work? Or the one that I hate the most is, oh, I know such and such who has fibromyalgia, but she still works. The thing is, what people don't realise is everybody's pain levels and fatigue levels and everything are different. And for example, where one person may be able to work now, that doesn't necessarily mean they were able to work, at the start whenever they were really bad. For me, obviously the doctors have said that I've had this for the majority of my life. I've always had health issues from my teenage years. It's been the worst. When I was 18, I was working in a nursing home. It was sort of a Christmas period nursing home job that I was working in, and I had to stop there early because my back was so bad that I could hardly walk. I was throwing up and everything from the pain. So I stopped working in nursing homes then, and as much as I loved it, I wasn't able to go back to it for many years. But I moved on from there and started working in offices and stuff. And for me, as much as I don't get to do an awful lot now, I was never a lazy person. And I think that's one of the hardest things for me, is to be looked at as if I'm lazy when all I ever did was work as hard as I possibly could. One of my jobs, when I was in so much pain, I would have gone into work in the morning. I think I used to start at either 7 or half 7 in the morning, and I would have gone in, let the drivers in, weighed them, and then I would have sat against a radiator with the tears running down my face from the pain in my back. It was horrible. But I never liked letting people down. I never liked to be the person who called in sick and didn't go into work. So I went from there, and it was the same sort of thing anywhere I was. I always had issues, and then there was the ulcers and everything. I've always been the type of person that I work and work and work until I physically cannot work anymore. And that's where it gets really hard for me, whenever people look at me as if I'm just lazy and don't want to work and can't be bothered getting up and doing things, because that's just not me. I want to work. And I think that's one of the reasons why I started doing this and started doing the reviews and stuff, is because I physically need something to do to keep me occupied. And if I can't go out and work for someone else, well then I'm going to do something that can help me and can help you guys, and it gives me something to do. And this is my point, guys, whether you're still working or whether you've gone off on the sick. I know people who had kept working whenever they were in a lot of pain, and I know people who are still doing it. They still go to work, and these are people who have been through so much, and there maybe was a time where they didn't actually be able to work. And then there's also those people who somehow can get up and go to work. And do you know what? I wish they could pass some of that on to me, because it's just not something for me that I can do. And a way to explain that to you is, say I go out and do a couple of hours out shopping or something like that. I'll come home and I'll need to lie down and rest, and I'll not really be able to do anything the next day. I'll need to rest that next day because I've been out and walking and doing stuff. And so you imagine you have a job and you go in and you do a shift. Like, say you work in an office and you're working 9 to 5 and you've sat there all day in pain, trying to do your work, trying to concentrate, and then you go home, you're exhausted, and maybe you don't sleep during the night, and then you have to get up that next morning. Well, I know for a fact that my body would not let me get up. So then I would have to do the whole, hi boss, I can't come in today, I feel horrendous. And last June, whenever I had gone off on the sick with my job, I wholeheartedly believed within a couple of months that I would be back. But anyway, just a few months ago I had to sit in a meeting with my boss and actually agree, yes, okay, I'm not going to be able to come back to this job. They did say to me, look, if we could find you a different job within the company, would you be willing to look into it? Well, as much as I wanted to say yes, I would love to, what about doing admin or something, I thought, but I can't. I'm not at a stage now where I could learn new things, or that I could cope with the responsibility of having to get up and get into work every day, and that fear every single evening as I'm coming home totally exhausted, in agony, that I'm having to ring in the next day to say that I'm too sick to come into work. I mean, that's not the way that you want to be starting a new job. And I mean, my boss, she was fantastic. I mean, whenever she said to me, she had me in tears because she said, like, if and when you're ever in the position to work again, if you want to come back, you know, we'll help you find a position, you know, even if it's just bank and you want to come and help us out every so often, you know, we'll help you. And that was something that really blessed me because I loved my time at the home that I worked in, and I loved the people that I worked with. As you know, I worked night shift, and it was a totally different atmosphere. And working night shift gave me the chance to speak to residents a wee bit more than you would have during the day because it's so busy and so manic, and you don't get the same time to speak to different residents. But I do just want to say, don't beat yourself up if you can't work, because who knows what it's going to be like in a couple of years. You may be back in the position to even get a part-time job, but you may not, and there's plenty of people out there that are in the same position as you, so you're not alone. You don't need to feel like you're a failure or you're a bum or you're just a benefit seeker or anything like that, because there is a reason that you're taking these benefits and you're not going to work, because you physically can't. And don't look at other people's situations. Don't look at other people who have the same illness as you but go to work, because you don't know what their situation is. There is people out there that, yes, they can work, and no one's saying that your illness is worse than theirs or anything like that, but everybody's situation is so different. And I mean, I know one lady who I do not know how she gets up every day and goes to work, because it just blows me away that she actually can do that. But every so often she does end up having a couple of months off work sick because she's just done far too much. And this is the problem, you know, if you force yourself to go to work day in, day out for weeks on end, you are going to get to the point where your body's just going to hit a brick wall and you will physically not be able to do anything. And that is what scares me, you know. I'm at a stage now where, yes, I can get out 1 day, 2 days a week and do stuff, but I sort of need to rest those other days and chill out and not do an awful lot. And I would rather have those 2 days a week than go and work solid, and then be completely off my feet for a couple of months, maybe. And as I said, I don't always want to be a person who doesn't work. I am hoping, obviously, that this time next year I'll be getting ready to start my course in nail technician and makeup artistry. But my thing is, I want to do something that eventually I can do in my own time, and it can be around my sickness. You know, if I'm too sick one day, I can just not work, I can just not practice, I can just not, you know, do a video. As last week, obviously, I had to have 3 days out because I wasn't well. I wasn't able to actually do any videos last Monday to Wednesday. So I mean, there's so many different things that I can sort of do that don't mean that I have to be responsible to someone. You know, I don't have to make that phone call, you know, every day whenever I'm not well enough to a boss and say, I can't come in today. You know, I just wake up in the morning and go, okay, where's pain? What's the pain levels? Can I move? Can I do this? Can I do that? And then I need to decide from there what I'm going to do that day. So I mean, there's things like that, you know, that I would rather be my own responsibility rather than be responsible to someone else. I mean, for those of you who actually can go out and work, I mean, hats off to you, because I would love to be able to do that, because obviously, I mean, financially it's not the easiest thing to live with, not working, and fighting for benefits and stuff as well. So obviously, guys, as I say, you know, if you're fit to work, that's fair enough. Nobody's saying you shouldn't work if you're sick, or nobody's saying that you have to work if you're sick, you know. All I'm really trying to say is that everybody's situation is so different and we just don't know. So when people are judging and people are saying things like, you need to get up and you need to get yourself back into work because it'll make you feel better, you know, don't let it get you down. Don't let people judge you. Just explain to them, just because you know somebody who does still be able to work or has gone back to work doesn't mean to say that I'm in that position now. Hopefully in the future I will be. But just for now, we don't know what we have in store. You know, it's things like that that people don't understand. So they just say things trying to be helpful or trying to be encouraging, and sometimes it can come across as insensitive. To sum it up, I don't have a job per se. I would class this as my job. Obviously it's voluntary. But it's something that I really enjoy doing, and while I can't actually go and work for someone else, this is something that'll keep me occupied, it'll give me something to do, and although it can be draining doing the videos and the editing and stuff, I'm not taking it out of myself as much as I would if I had a job working for someone else. So guys, really what I'm saying is, whether you can work for someone else, whether you can go out and work part-time, full-time, whatever it is, the ideal thing for you to do in the time that you can't actually work is get yourself a hobby. Get something that you can focus on, whether it be jewellery, card making, any sort of crafting. You know, things like that are something that's really, really good for somebody with a chronic condition that means they can't go out and work, or they need something to do on the days where they're really bad. I mean, at the end of the day, if we don't have something to focus on, we will go absolutely insane, because there's nothing worse than lying staring at the four walls, not knowing what to do with yourself. I mean, if you make jewellery or anything like that, I have groups on Facebook for jewellery makers, and I'm part of groups that are for crafters of any sort, and you know, there's so much around there that you'll always find something to do, and you'll always find friends and supportive people around you that will be able to help you through the tough days and be able to smile with you on the good days as well. So I think that's where I'm going to leave it off for today. And I hope some of this has actually been helpful to you. Obviously it's just kind of me sort of chatting, but that's kind of what it's all about for me. I just want to talk to you guys, tell you what life is like for me, and hopefully in amongst that I'll help some people. And if there's anything that you want me to discuss, you just give me a wee comment down below, and I'll do what I can to answer your questions or to research what it is that you want looked into or anything like that. I mean, obviously you can contact me at lyndseyMilliganHB@gmail.com, or follow the link below to my Facebook fan page, or the other link that will be down there as well for the chronic pain and fatigue condition group that's there as well. So if you want to join that, I mean, you're more than welcome to come along and become part of the family. I mean, I've said before, you know, the reason I set it up was because I wanted a group to be there for whenever you're having your bad days, as well as to be able to enjoy the good days with you. There is a lot of groups out there that dwell on the worst days, so it can really bring you down and make you feel worse. So if you want to come across and join that group as well, we would love to have you over there. There's myself and there's Sharon, who is my number 2 on that group, and we would love to have you there. So that's it for today, guys. I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday for another update on the health side of things, and Friday and Monday coming for more videos with reviews on the products that I've been trying out for you guys recently. So I look forward to getting your feedback, and don't forget to give me a wee thumbs up if you've actually enjoyed this. It's good for me to know. If you give me a wee thumbs up, I'll know that you've actually enjoyed this and it's been worthwhile for you to sit and watch. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe so that you can see whenever new videos are coming in. And I will see you all soon. Love yous. Mwah. Bye.